Okay, I just got back from a trip to San Clemente Island. We had really good weedless fishing on the in the kelp and on both, also along the beach. In the morning, we had an area where the wind had the bait blown up against the shoreline on the front side. It was a fish cast at times, or bite a cast anyway. But I'm going to talk a little bit about how we're fishing this weedless swim bait. This is the MC 7-inch weedless in the hot cod color, 3/4 ounce trocar hook, 60-pound fluorocarbon leader, 65-pound braid. A couple different rods we'll fish with this. The one I prefer using is the Judge Series 70L, which is a graphite composite rod, glass tip, graphite butt section. A lot shorter than a lot of guys are used to fishing. It's a 7-foot rod. The advantage of this rod is that it has the glass tip, which gives you a little bit of play in it when you do get a bite to allow you to set the hook. I'm going to talk about that more in a second, but this is a good rod to use when you're making precise casts to particular stringers of kelp or making short casts around the boat. Another option is something that Jimmy Decker likes fishing a lot is the 810 ML, which is a slightly stiffer rod. That's an L, this is an ML, but it's also longer. It's 9 foot. The extra length makes it feel a little softer. That's why we step it up. Same thing, 65-pound braid, 60-pound fluorocarbon, 400 or 500 size bait cast reel. The new Penn 400 Fathom is a real nice one. I don't have one here, but I've been fishing that. So that rod is better for when you're making longer casts. You're making bomb casts up to the shoreline, or you're just making long casts in the kelp. It gives you a little bit of extra casting distance. The only drawback is you gotta fight the fish a little bit harder. With both rods, well, let's start out with the shorter rod and the shorter presentation here. A lot of guys think that you need to make this big, huge cast when you're fishing the weedless. You really don't. Basically, you can do an underhand lob 20 or 30 feet to a particular target and fish the bait effectively like that. And if the boat is drifting forward or going forward on a trolling motor, you're almost better off fishing that way. You can make casts to individual kelp stringers or spots along the beach. And once you do make your cast, you're doing your normal fast wind with it or slow wind or whatever. There's a couple ways to actually hook these bass. It's very easy not to hook them too. So basically, you're going to want to adjust what you do depending on what's happening. If you're making those short casts, you're watching your bait the whole way back to the boat. You'll see the fish come up behind it. You'll see the fish come up and bite it. You're going to want to drop your tip, stop winding, let that fish eat the bait, turn, and then swing on them. It doesn't take that long. It's like wind, 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 like that. But if you don't give that rod tip drop and that pause for a second, half time you're going to pull that bait out of the fish's mouth. Another option is when you're not seeing the bite. So you make your long cast now. You can't see your bait in the water. You're winding it. You start to feel it stop. The natural reaction is to swing on it, but 9 times out of 10, if you do that without seeing the fish, you're going to lose that. The fish just isn't going to get hooked. So what I'll do, and the better, it's still not 100% hookup rate at this way, but when you feel that bite stop winding, drop the tip, and then swing it back. So what you're doing is the same thing you did when you saw the fish eat it, but this time you can't see the fish eat it, but you're assuming he has it right. When you drop the tip, swing, you're either going to hook him or not. If you don't hook him, continue to burn that bait back, because a lot of times those fish will come back on it, or another fish that was with that fish will come in and eat it. So I've got a couple of videos that's going to show how that works here for actual underwater footage, but I just want to talk about that because it's kind of hard to see in the video because it happens so fast. Wind, 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 bite, drop the tip, even a foot. Real fast, just drop tip, give it some slack, watch that fish turn, and then set the hook. And if you can't see it, imagine that he's doing that. But be back in the video here in a minute. Okay, in this first clip, I'm going to show you what I was talking about with these short casts that we're making here. So Matt made a short underhand cast just now, and he gets bit. He doesn't hang the fish, misses it. He just caught one of the previous casts, but I didn't get the whole thing on. Now just another little underhand lob cast. I mean, that's maybe 30, 40 feet. And there's some submerged kelp there, and he's going to get bit again on this cast. It's not going to stick either. But it kind of shows you the what I'm talking about here with these multiple short casts at targets. So what you're about to see right here is Matt swinging on the fish. He's going to get a few bites before he gets the bite he wants. And you're going to watch, he's going to actually, on his next cast, he's going to be pulling his bait away from fish that he does not want to hook. So as he's retrieving it here, you're going to see him snap his rod tip a couple times. That is pulling the bait away from smaller fish. So Right here, he's about to do it the first time. There, that's the first one he didn't want. Now he has another one come back up, and he gets a short bite. He's going to pull it away from there, and then a bigger one comes and bites the bait. He is now going to drop his rod tip and load up on that fish. That is exactly the way you need to do it if you want to hook these bass on the weedless. So he pulled away from the ones he didn't want, and when he got the right one, he dropped it back and let it go.
Yeah, he came in with a friend.
Spin the boat around, buddy.
Yeah, that's a good one right there.
Holy cow.
Huh?
Hold that one up for the camera.
That's a big one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's probably
3 pounds.
Nice.